Good evening, everyone, or hello, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Hilton, and I have a blog called Adventures in Fluency. And I am excited to start a new series of blog posts on adventures in fluency called Teacher Spotlight. Each month, I hope to feature one of my language teachers. That way, you all can get to know these teachers better, understand their backgrounds, their techniques, the languages they teach, and where to find them, whether online or in person or both. An essential component in a successful language journey is a skillful teacher who can guide you, educate you, and inspire you on your language adventure. So for my first post, I am featuring David, my Spanish teacher. I first found David through the Duolingo classes. So David, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you live? How old are you? What do you enjoy doing in your spare time?
Okay, got it. Well, thank you, Elizabeth, for this spot. And hello, everyone. My name is David. I am 25 years old. I am from Colombia, Barranquilla, Colombia. And what do I do in my spare time? Well, I'm into sports right now. I got registered into competition this year. The first one is the Oceanman, like to swim in open waters, as you know. And the second one is a local running competition that is called Half Marathon of Barranquilla, that it's my city. And yeah, basically that.
Well, that's great. I mean, obviously, everyone can see that you speak English incredibly well, which I think is probably an important skill for a teacher teaching English speakers, native English speakers, another language. So tell us, how did you learn to speak English, and how long have you been learning, how long have you been speaking English?
Hmm. Well, I've been studying English from a very young age. Then I moved to high school, and over there I learned the language in a profound way. Then I just pushed myself to the next level and wanted to join a international company, maybe a call center or something like that, just to, push my knowledge and my English level. Yeah. And to understand what they were saying, that really helped me a lot to get into the water.
Perfect. So are you learning any other languages? And if so, what tools do you use to learn languages?
Hmm. Actually, right now I'm learning two languages, Japanese and French. Yeah, a little bit. I practice Japanese just by watching anime and learning the basics, the alphabet and yeah, and something like that. And the French, I practice using Duolingo and Busuu. I love those platforms to practice, uh, yeah, those languages.
Perfect. So what inspired you to start teaching Spanish?
Well, actually, I never saw myself as a language teacher. Actually, 2 years ago, some friends told me or mentioned about Duolingo classes, but I didn't really pay attention to that. But once I did my first event, I just clicked with it. I love the idea of sharing my experience and my culture to other people, and why not sharing it with more people around the world?
Wow. So it sounds like teaching is not your full-time gig. It sounds more like it's a side hustle. What is your day job?
Oh, well, it is not my full-time job teaching languages, but what I really do in my job is, well, I am a logistics coordinator right now in an international company, but I'm always thinking about how I can improve my classes or my events. So it feels like a full-time job sometimes. Yeah.
Hmm. So had you ever taught Spanish classes before starting to teach on Duolingo?
I used to offer face-to-face classes and actually English classes, but only to my little cousins or my close friends and family. Yeah, something like that. And obviously free. Um, yeah, something like that, just to give them the opportunity to learn something new. I believe that's important. English give you the opportunity to do sometimes better things and new people. Yeah.
So what do you think a good Spanish teacher should possess? What skills?
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Well, I believe first of all, patience. You need a lot of patience. Uh, the second thing, as a teacher, you need to be able to also learn a lot of things because it's a long journey, and you need to give the yeah, you need to provide the best version of yourself to your students. So I believe those, and the third one would be let me see, to make the students feel included into your class, or into the class, and give them the opportunity to talk and the show them that they are relevant.
Well, I will say I have a friend, Caroline, who is French, and she just started studying Spanish. And so I recommended her class. I recommended your class to her, and she joined. And the very next time I saw her, she was so excited because she goes, I love David. He made me feel so comfortable. I was so nervous because I'm just a beginner. But he made me feel so comfortable and made me not worry at all about making mistakes. So you're definitely accomplishing your goal. But speaking of which,
Mhm.
you have such a unique structure in your class that I absolutely love. And in fact, and I've taken a lot of language classes, and I've never had a language class before with your structure. And
Hmm.
I really wish that like a lot of teachers would follow your structure. So tell us, what is the structure and
Mhm.
how did you come up with this really great idea?
Well, actually, the structure is pretty simple, I believe, but as you know, it combines the four skills, or yeah, the four abilities that a language has to offer: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And when I first started thinking about the class, I just imagined what kind of class I would love have to receive, and what kind of teacher I would love have to have. Yeah, basically, thinking in that way was the how the idea came up to me. Yeah, and within those components, I believe that's a natural way to learn vocabulary and grammar. So yeah.
So take us through a class that you offer. Like how is the flow of that class?
Oh, okay. Well, the first part is we read maybe two or three texts, or maybe a conversation, something like that. The second part is a round of questions where everyone can share their opinions about a topic or something. The third part is the dictation part, where you write what you hear, basically. And the last part, and the funniest part, is create a short story using images or pictures. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are always the funs because I think I'm always trying to come up with something funny.
Correct.
So, and I would say that, I love the flow of the class because I feel like when we start reading, that kind of gets me going. It gets me thinking in Spanish. So then by the time we get to the questions, I feel more comfortable answering questions. And then the dictation has so improved my ability to spell Spanish.
Mhm.
Like I feel like it's improved my Spanish spelling. And then the writing, I never ever wrote in Spanish. And I think
Mhm.
I afraid of it, and now it's just feeling like it's flowing so much more naturally. So I really do love the structure. You do have a limit on the amount of students in your class. Tell me, how did you decide on that limit, and how do you think that limit works in your class?
I decided the limit thinking about the number of the students I could really pay attention, and yeah, thinking about how can I provide them or give them the opportunity to talk and feel involved during the class. And it's really important for me to have the time to give you or give the students feedback instantly, so you can say your errors at the same time. So yeah, I believe that's important. Yeah.
Okay, so what is your limit in your class?
Okay, got it. Yeah. Well, let me see. At the beginning, I just thought 6 it would be a good number. Yeah, and just practicing class after class after class, I noticed that was the perfect number, because when I did different kind of events, I just let join more than 20 or 10, and it took so much time to give them the feedback instantly to all of them. And actually, they didn't have the opportunity to talk, or yeah, I couldn't get the enough attention to them. So it was really difficult for them and also for me. So I just wanted to be so inclusive and give them the opportunity to really appreciate the class. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I feel like 6 is perfect. Like, even when we have 6, I feel like everybody gets the opportunity to talk. Everybody gets an opportunity to participate in all the activities. So I agree. I think 6 feels like the perfect number, especially since we got a lot to do in an hour.
Correct. Yeah.
So, since Duolingo has stopped offering classes, where can we find you?
Well, as you know, I created a website, my website, that it's called We Classes, where I share the website with another Spanish host. And it's called Pauline. And you also can type on YouTube David's Classes and you'll find me. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, so I will definitely be sharing the link in this blog post so that
Awesome.
everybody can click on it and find you. And it looks like right now, so you created this web page and you have 2 people. Do you have any hopes for the future of your teaching? Are you going to expand the number of classes, or what are your hopes and aspirations?
Oh, let me see. Well, I would like to expand. I would love that, and to attract more learners, and obviously more hosts, maybe with other languages would be really, really awesome. Yeah, and keep learning.
That'd be great. Maybe you could teach the teachers how to teach because you have such a good technique.
Maybe in the future, yeah.
So what is your biggest piece of advice for somebody who wants to start learning Spanish?
Let me think about it. Well, I just want to encourage you to start with the basics, the alphabet, easy phrases, yeah, the most common verbs, yeah, something like that. And you'll find people along the way to make your journey enjoyable. That will be that will be a fact. Yeah. And remember that learning a language doesn't need to be boring, need to be fun. You need to have fun with that. And yeah, basically that.
Wait, you forgot the most important thing, and take your classes, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, remember to take a class with me Saturdays and obviously Sundays. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much, David, for sharing all of this wonderful information with me. I think we need to stop this interview so that you can have time to prepare for your classes this weekend, because I think I signed up for 2.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are looking for an amazing Spanish teacher, I'm going to include a link in the blog so that you can find David's classes online. In San Francisco, if you're in San Francisco, David offers 2 classes online in the San Francisco time, is for advanced beginners on Saturdays, both 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. And on Sundays, it's a little bit more intermediate, and it's also at 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. And each class is a whole hour long, and it's only $8. So make sure you join us, and you'll definitely see David. Maybe you'll see me, but you will not leave disappointed, I promise you. So, gracias por todos y muchísimas gracias y buena suerte en su nuevo sitio web. Y
No,
hasta sábado, entonces.
hasta el sábado entonces, así será, Elizabeth. Gracias por la oportunidad y bueno, los espero a todos el sábado o el domingo y nada, nos vemos entonces. Chao, chao.
Chao, chao.